3. Hello, hello. Welcome to the 7th episode of Relationship. Should we talk about it? And today I have a special guest, my dear friend Alison Cox. Hello, Alison. How you be?
Oh, thank you, Roman. So good to be here. Hello.
That's so cool. So, for everyone, if you're watching this for the first time, there is no plan. There is no script. It's just like, for me, just like we can all push down our barriers and be vulnerable and let's have so much fun. So first of all, if someone does not know you and you want to present yourself, how you do that, Alison?
Are you talking about me personally?
Yeah, like if you want to present yourself, like we never saw you, people online never saw you before, like, hey, I'm Alison, and what else? In those 10 seconds.
Well, in this 10 seconds, I am a conscious, I think I'm conscious.
Let's get that. No, we can't. Oh, too bad.
I'm conscious, or I am an airhead. I am a access consciousness facilitator, conscious source, conscious writer, talk to the entities, body worker, and all kinds of other stuff. And yeah, I usually have no idea what's going on. I'm here now.
That's cool. I love that. So I lied about the plan and the script. I have one question, like, and you can say whatever you want. It's like, Alison, like I will watch you in the eyes. Alison, what's relationship is about for you? What's the relationship for you?
Relationship for me. So I actually happen to be, I'm going to brag a little bit. I'm I can't think of any words. I've listened to so many calls today, but I am a international something author. What happens when you sell a lot of books?
Best-selling authors.
I'm a best-selling author on relationships in a book called I forget what it's called. This is going to be an interesting one. Relationships Made Easy, I believe is what it's called.
I didn't know that. Oh my God.
I think, yeah, there's a bunch of other really cool facilitators in that book. And the chapter that I wrote is called The Relationship Equation. So like what relationship is supposed to be is like man plus woman or woman plus woman or man plus man with like the correct thing, and the correct equation equals love and the perfect life and happy ever after. And I was like, ever since I was little, I was like, what the hell are they talking about? Like, well, I'll try. But I tried and nothing ever worked. So now relationship for me is like engaging with everything in every 10 seconds, like whatever's in front of you and in the future. And like, what would you like to create in the future too, with all of the things you'd like to have a relationship with? Not just people, but everything.
I love that. Like, mic drop. Call is over. Thank you, guys. See you next week. Boom. Drop mic. Mic drop. Oh, that's so cool. I didn't knew. I'm like, oh, fuck. I want to read that book. Like, I will buy it.
It's great. There's a bunch of different people in Access that are in it, and it's super good. And
when did you read that?
I think it's got to be like 4 or 5 years ago now. I guess it's been a while. I don't even know. I have to look. I'll send you the link and.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will put that in the replay email or yeah.
Totally.
Wow. That's cool. Looks. It's awesome. No, it's just awesome because there is so much there is an energy about all those calls, and I love that. And at the same time, the more I do those calls and the more energy, it's like having a train going into my face right now. And it's so fun. And I would love to be so light and aware of what's going on, and like having so much fun talking about relationship. And it's funny, we talk a lot about that, but it's like the first relationship you should take care of is the relationship with yourself. Like,
oh, totally.
Like just from a space, not from a selfish space, just from the space of, oh, I will do what's work for me, not against other, but really what's work for me. And yeah, that will be the invitation for others to choose more for them too, even if they're like, oh, why is changing or what she's changing, and like, yeah, please choose.
I think I got that like last week. I was like, oh, it works better when you put you first and everyone else can choose for them also. And you're an inspiration rather than choosing to either save people or against people, like either for or against them. You do not want to be choosing for that in relationship. No.
And that's funny because when you choose, even let's say you choose for them, like, oh yeah, you really want to, you're a pleaser, like you want to please them, like it's your main goal in life, it's to please people. A lot of time you don't really ask questions, and so you just do stuff you think will please them, but it's just based on what you think their expectations are. It's why expectation is shit, and you should not do anything about expectation for you or the other, just do things for you. And a lot of times it's just not true. That's not what they want. That's not what they like. So you are just cutting part of you self just to please someone, but you don't know what will please them. You just assume something will please them. So it's never work. Just ask question and choose for you. Like, it's funny, like maybe I talked about it last week with Rebecca, but it's like 10 days ago, maybe I enter in that space because that's Elodie's like, I don't know how, desk, like office space room. And I enter in that, like she was working on something, and I just stay there and I say, can I ask you something? Yes. So I started, yeah, it's a year from now, like, and she's, well, like, yeah, just think about it, like, just dream about that. Like, it's a year from now, you look back, and it was the best year we've got in our 18 years relationship. What does that look like for you? And then she was like, and I said, yeah, we always focus on what we don't want. What do we want? Like, and she just gave me some few tips, like, oh, I will do that more with you, or more for me, or more whatever, or more what. And it's like, boom, I just took notes. That doesn't mean I will choose to provide it. I will, because I love her and it's working for me too. But if it was something was not working for me, I don't do that. But it's awesome because in those stages, it's like, oh, okay, cool. Instead of doing it from a place like, oh, I don't do that, I don't like when you do that. Like, yeah, you can tell that to someone. Like, please, if something not work for you, just tell them, not from a guilty space or whatever, just tell them, oh, it's not working for me. But instead of the other one need to be like, and I love experimentation, but like trying 123rd to try to please you. Maybe it's good if you have some clarity about what please you and try other stuff at the same time. But like, what brings you joy. So why don't tell the other one? And it's just not about your lovers. Like, you work with your kids, with your business partner, with like, I ask that question to everyone. Like, look back, what's work for you? What was the deal for you? I give you everything. What did you want? What does it look like? And it's like, it's crazy. People are not used to that. And it's like, I love asking question and using that tool. Like, it's a year from now, look back, it has been your best year of your life. what it looks like. And it just doesn't mean everything you will say at the moment will happen, but at least your point of view creates your reality. So you kind of going there.
Yeah.
And it can change in 10 seconds. But at that moment, oh yeah, I would love to do that. Or I would love to have that fun relationship with you. Or I would love to go to a weekend with you without the kids. Or I would have to have more time without phone or whatever. Just, oh God, ask.
Yeah. That's so cool. That's such a great question, especially because I happen to know both of you and you both are freaking awesome. And that I perceive that working very well. And one of the cool things that's shown up in Access lately is the reaction versus action, like reacting versus action taking, which, so like, that's not, and it feels good when you say that. And like, I can perceive the energy of you guys like, oh yeah, cool. That's a cool thing to perceive, know, be, whatever. But it's funny. So what would you say to the people, like, not everyone can receive that openness, that vulnerability, that honoring, the trust, like all of that. Like that's probably 1 in 10,000 relationships. Congratulations. And it's so cool. So for everybody else, a lot of times you'll run into like someone who can't actually receive the contribution you're willing to be. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, Jason.
Yay. And there's a lot of people who, like, when you grow up, like, you're willing to receive, when you're little, you're like, yeah, yes, everything, everyone's awesome. And then you grow up and you start, like, having to have an identity. You start choosing your point of view of what relationships are and what they aren't. You copy your parents or you copy your whoever you're around, or you resist and react like, I will never be that. So you try to be the opposite of that. And you start to form these weird ideas of what relationships are and what it means to prove that you have a relationship or that you don't, or what a friendship is, or what a relationship is, and what a business is, and all these different forms and structures of things. So then you'll start reacting in certain ways. And what I've been seeing a lot, like in the last few weeks, is reacting like people will react in order to prove that someone cares for them, or they won't like receive the caring that someone has for them unless that person's reacting. So they'll actually like push buttons to get them to react to prove that they love them or that they care about them or that they're in a relationship. Have you seen any of this anywhere?
Not in New Caledonia, never. We are so perfect.
Hi, guys.
Like, I'm joking. Hi, Emil.
Hi.
How are you? Thank you, Alison and Romain. Thank you so much. Actually, yeah, Alison, what you are saying is just inspiring me a lot. And this is what happened with me. I have the feeling, I mean, maybe I'm giving a lot and people are not allowing themselves to receive. And it's create a kind of weird connection between me and other people.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to handle it. If you have some tips, I would be happy to have them. Thank you.
Yeah. One of the coolest things I ever heard, and I just heard it again because I was listening to a call by Shannon O'Hara, is to basically think of a fruit tree or be the fruit tree. And by being the fruit tree, so if you think of a fruit tree, like let's say like a apple tree, how much fruit does that tree produce every year? Does it care if the fruit is picked, shaken off, or falls to the ground? And does the fruit tree ever stop giving and being all of it, no matter what? Does it ever stop receiving the sun and the soil and the rain? Does it ever stop receiving or gifting? Whether anybody else acknowledges it or receives it, any person acknowledges it or receives it or picks its fruits and enjoys its fruits. No, the fruit tree does not care. It just receives and gifts always. And so what if you could, whenever you feel shitty or like someone's not getting you and you're like, I just care about you. I love you. This happens to me all the time. And then I'm like, I take a couple days. I'm like, I'm the fruit tree. Oh my God. And then I'm like, oh, is this person? I'm like, oh wait, this person can't receive me. Oh, okay. Well, that's not going to stop me from being all of me and receiving from everything, even from them, even if they are like putting up barriers and they're not being nice to you and they're rejecting everything, rejecting you. You want to pock and pot all the rejections, projections, expectations, separations, and judgments. Keep doing it. Like that may never, like we have that tool to use it. That may never stop, but keep pock and potting all that stuff. But also like, what can you be grateful for? What can you receive from them, even if it's judgments? Can you receive the judgments from them, no matter what? Which is interesting point of view. They have that point of view. Interesting point of view. I have the point of view that they have. Can you receive from them no matter what? And can you just be all of you no matter what? It doesn't mean they have to get it. Doesn't mean you have to talk to them. Doesn't mean doesn't mean you have to be in relationship with them. But are you willing to be all of you always and receive with no point of view always, just like the fruit tree?
Love that.
That's an amazing example. Yes, thank you so much for this example. And another question, please, for you guys. How can we attract people more caring? I'm asking to have more caring people and more nurturing people in my life. But yeah, I think it's not actualized yet. So what's your opinion about that? I mean, how you can just help us with that?
Oh, I just maybe ask yourself the question like, do you have any point of view or definition of what is a caring or nurturing people to you? Because maybe
that's a good question.
Yeah, and like you might want to like keep asking questions with no point of view, and please be aware of what people can like. People can come from somewhere you didn't expect to, and if you have the point of view like a caring people will be like the man with the, I'm just joking at the time, but the man with the roses, the red roses, and maybe you have like 10 people with white roses waiting for you to be nurturing and caring to you. And it's like, but if you're only looking for the red roses, you will not see the other one. It might be that, or maybe you are living in a place there is like one people in the town and you don't get out of your home and like have fun. Like if you want more people like caring and nurturing and like just choose for yourself to be happy, do stuff who bring joy to you, and that will be the invitation for life and people, and where many things like the universe would just give you with abundance, like all the things you like to have. Just choose to have joy for you first, and maybe just try to be aware if you have point of view of what is nurturing or caring people.
I will talk about all that. I'm sure I have actually.
Sorry for those listening to that on YouTube or SoundCloud and you don't know what the fuck is padding. Like just go to www.theclearingstatement.com or www.accessconsciousness.com. That's an amazing tool. Like it's like personal development, like 4.0 or maybe 10.0. It's like just awesome tools. Please have a look. Thank you, Anna.
That's awesome. I love the red roses and the white roses example.
It was the only one. It's not mine. I don't know which one. Maybe it was Gary in one book. I don't remember, but it was like the only thing I can think about at the time. But yeah, it's really like we all talking about choice. So first of all, I really like, and I like for those looking, I'm looking right in your eyes right now. Like just acknowledge the fact that you are the source of creation of your life. Like no one else. Like people can be a contribution for you, but it's not up to them to make you happy. First, like fill the happiness cup by yourself. Like let other people be a contribution to you. It's why pushing down your barriers and asking questions and like let other people come to your world and be a contribution to your world, but don't depend on them. You don't want to depend on anyone. Like, just choose to have fun, choose to have joy on yourself, like what's bringing me joy, experiment a lot of stuff, and just like maybe in those 10 seconds, write down what's worked, write down what doesn't work for you, and that can change. So try again, maybe later. But it's just like, it's funny, you know, when you like truly acknowledge that, like, you are the gift of your life, you are the valuable product of your life, you are the source of creation of your life, and you are the one who can choose to be happy on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. You will bring so much lightness around you, because people will not, like, being around you will be like a gift. If, you know, it's like, you will be the invitation for other people to be next to you. And maybe at some time you say, oh, let me alone, I'm happy on my own. You know what I mean? So don't do that. Just like push down your barriers and like gifting, receiving, but do what's work for you. And it's really like, can you imagine, like, in any relationship we can have, like, maybe you, and it's not about lovers again, it's like all the relationship. If you have no expectation, if you are around people not waiting on you for something, but just enjoying being with you, it's not the same at all. It's so much light. And like, when you tell people, when I tell a friend or when I tell a LOD, like, do what's work for you, not to please me, just what's working for you. It can be like, at the beginning, it's not what the world asks us since we're born. It's more like, oh, you should do that. Oh, sorry, I can't do that. I dug that. It's just like, no, what works for me? Like, for many, like, since SOP, I didn't have them yet, but I got like reminders on my iPhone, like on an hourly basis for weeks. It was like, what works for you? Do only what works for you, to be exact. And it's like, oh yeah, it's not what we used to, but when you choose that, again, not from a place against other, just for you, what works for you, not against other. It will be the invitation for other people to be the leader of their own life. Because by doing what's working for you and choosing for you and acknowledge the fact that you choose, your choice from today will create your future tomorrow. When you acknowledge that, and it's really light for you, and you keep choosing for you, not against other, you become the leader of your life. Not for others to follow you, but you will be the invitation for them to choose more for them. And that's changing everything. And it's fun because a lot of time we try to change people. We try to save people. You are not there for saving anyone, but you can be the invitation for them to choose more for them. And when they will come to, oh, it's crazy, I saw you choose everything, like, well, yeah, of course you can help them, but it's not saving them. Like, you don't try to drag them. It's just like, yeah, I'm there for you. I have tools, I can share it with you. And again, it's not on you if they choose or they don't choose to use the tools or whatever. It's not on you. And that will bring so much lightness. That's so cool. And you can stop me talking. I love talking. You know that, Alison.
You're fine. No, I love everything you're saying. We're like, yeah. And I love the word invitation. And again, what we talked about at the beginning, which was like, well, why don't these people get me? You're being an invitation, and you are being you, and you're bringing lightness to you, which is actually infecting everyone else. That might feel not good for most people that have grown up in this reality and this society. So they might be like, no, stay away from me. When you start to expand and explode and be more of you, and you're like, you're being all of you for you, that can repel all kinds of people that are like, that feels out of control, that feels like too much, that feels like everything I always wished was true, but I will be like put in jail. I will like, that is not, like, my parents cannot handle it. That does not compute. That is not in the box that I'm supposed to be in. That is dangerous. That is too fun. That is not supposed to be possible. So people will reject you. They will judge you. They will yell at you. They will, you can try and keep them there, but they will find some way to reject you. It's only a rejection if you align and agree with it's a rejection or it's a judgment. It's like, wow, I just crossed the line in the sand that I didn't even know was there. How cool. How cool am I that I'm expanding beyond someone's reality of what reality really is? How cool is it that I'm triggering people and that I'm moving into a reality beyond this reality for myself? And then others, yes, I can be the invitation for others or ask for others I can play with that will create even greater.
I love that. I was thinking like, maybe it's like being the marketer of your own life, like attract the one you want and repel the one you don't want, like just for the fun of it. And when you was like thinking that, I was like, yeah. And sometimes you try to be the invitation for, look, you can be at a party, like, and you are focusing on the one group of the one people you would love them to receive you, like, and you just focus on them and you get the quote unquote rejection and like that. And maybe there is like 15 other people who want to talk to you, but you can't see them because you only focus on what's not working. It's funny, like if you are doing like some kayaking or rafting, like you go on the river and stuff, like if I tell you, please do not eat that rock, I'm sure you will go to that rock and you will eat that because things happen, like your point of view creates your reality. So if you focus on something, you will go there, even if you think it's good or it's not. So please just stay in the question and like focus on something else, like focus on something you want to create, and maybe that not, but with no expectation, maybe that not the people's.
Yes, that brings up another awesome point of view that I used to get stuck in all the time. Like, oh, well, if I choose this, then I'm married to it forever. So I need to make the right choice now because that's going to be my choice forever, which couldn't be further from the truth. You're like, awareness and choice is only good for 10 seconds, period. And you can change whenever you'd like, even if you marry somebody, even if you get in a relationship, even if you get in a friendship, which a lot of people don't realize. They're like, no, friendship is a great thing. Like, no, we're friends, so I'm always going to tell the truth. I am always going to have this person's back no matter what, even if it's against what I say. Or same thing with regular relationships and marriages. Like, no, even if something feels heavy about this to me, I have their back and I'm going to give everything to them and I'm going to cut off my arms and legs because this proves and honors them. That's not how it works. I mean, that's how we've been trying to make it work, but that kind of hurts, kills you. It kills all of your being and it doesn't allow things to grow and change.
And it's not serving them. It's not helping them. It's not serving them.
Right. Exactly. Excuse me.
Sorry. Maybe she has coronavirus. Like maybe we should shut down the Zoom like right now.
It's so great. I have like a dry
Who does this belong to?
Yeah, who does this belong to?
I don't have coronavirus. I take my temperature every day because of my new birth control app. And it turns out I run cold 97.4 degrees. I'm like a lizard.
Oh my
in
God.
Fahrenheit. I don't know.
Fahrenheit, I was like in Celsius should be. She's so hot. Like, no, something's not wrong. Like, you are not supposed to go beyond like 40 degrees and 97. Oh my God. Denver is on fire.
It's snowing. I need to turn it up. What the heck? I had one more. So just to give you a little example about you don't have to commit forever once you commit to a relationship. So I dated this guy for about 3.5 years. We just broke up maybe less than a year ago, but it worked perfect for me. I was like, I don't think he knows enough about me. I'm intriguing enough that I can get my way for, we'll see how long. But when it doesn't work for me, okay. And it was long distance, and I only saw him like once or twice a month, maybe. And then it turned into like once every 2 months. and I didn't want to be monogamous, and he wasn't really okay with that, but he was, because I'm like, yes, let's make this work. And he's like, what? Okay. And so I basically got everything I wanted, which I knew wasn't going to last forever, but I dove in. I'm like, yes, like, I'll talk to you every day. Like, I just loved the energy of him and me, and it was just fun. And when we were together, it was like this. And then when we were apart, I got to do whatever I wanted, but also like I was still connected with him. So it worked for me. And it would not be like the best relationship for maybe someone that wanted a monogamous relationship, but he went for it for as long as he wanted. And I trusted that he was going to, if it didn't work for him anymore, he would say something. 3.5 years later, I got the phone call, and we had just hung out. I got the phone call like, hey, I just met someone, because he wished that I would move in with him. He wished that I would like move to California, be with him, be with the kids. We would have like a life where we would just like surf every day and like have kids and a family and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, I don't know if that works out for me very well, but what else is possible? And so one day I got the call. He's like, oh my God, like, I'm so sorry. I don't even know how to tell you this, but I just met a girl last week who believes in aliens. Like, I broke him open into all kinds of crazy conversations. He's like, it's great. She believes in fairies and aliens, and she has kids here, and she actually lives like in the same town, and I think we want to get in a relationship. And I was like, he's like, I'm so sorry. Is that like, that's what I want to do. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Like, yes, if you'd love to do that, like, I know that's what you've always wanted me to be and do, which I could never give you, and I will not give myself up for you to be that. Like, it's just not going to work for me. And you're not going to give yourself up to be with me. Like, you wouldn't just come drop everything and travel whenever you want. And like, our points of view about money, travel, business were completely different, family, all that stuff. But it worked for however long, for 3.5 years. When that 3.5 years was done, he got, like, I didn't even have to do anything. I was just so open, and he was open to what worked for him too, that he finally got the relationship he was asking for, even though he wished it was me, but it was even better than me.
How does it get any better?
How does it get any better or easier? And I was hurt for a little bit, but not really. I was like, cool. I knew also that wasn't actually going anywhere. And I had known for a little while, and I was like, oh, should I stop it? I don't know. Like, and what else is possible? And then it all just worked itself out. And now I no longer have to judge myself, or even have pressure or think about judging myself for trying to fit myself into this relationship that wasn't going to work anyway. But I was not afraid to like dive in and have fun and explore for however long it was going to work, even though I knew it wasn't going to work forever.
I love that story.
Me too.
Yeah.
Hopefully he won't listen. Just kidding. I don't think he will.
No, oh my God, he could, like, from my gentleman point of view, he could definitely listen to that. And like, if you was saying about like, I was like, I know Alison, she can be a good manipulator too. Yeah. So maybe, but he knew that before. You know what I mean? He knew that for a long time. So it would maybe go to the, she was a bit manipulate me. Yeah, but he knew that way before. You always knew and know what's going on. Just to
he loved it.
Be aware. Yeah, he loved it. So I think it was a pretty, like, I love that.
Yeah.
That's, my friend, is like, yeah, it's awesome. Like, doing what's work for you and be the allowance. Like, you were in allowance of yourself, and you were in allowance of him. And for me, it's like the true intimacy. And as you said, you trust he was going to choose something like that one day. You didn't try to change him. And it doesn't mean you cannot enjoy 3.5 years of that relationship.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you could have been a bitch if you said, when he called you and said, really? Are you going to leave me over the phone like this? And what? No, you do the exact opposite. Oh my God, it's awesome. My friend, I'm so happy for you and everything. And like, that's being an amazing friend. And like, I love that.
Yeah.
You were.
It was so fun. It was actually really fun. I'm like, wow. And I was like, we can just be friends. And that didn't work for him either. He's like, yeah, but we haven't really talked ever since. And I'm like, cool, that's cool too.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. And even for the new girl, like it should be like, it can, when you have a crazy connection and it's like a relationship, but even if you don't have sex with anyone, or sometimes it's just a connection, kind of a vibrational compatibility. And doesn't mean you have to be in a relationship. Yeah, you are in a relationship with them for like as a friend. Doesn't mean you have to put sex or whatever. It's just like, but for people like having a relationship with someone, it can be too much. Like it was like, you know, receiving your text and like be the big smile on his face, like lighting up the day and stuff. It should work like this. And maybe we can create a reality like this.
What would it take?
What will it take? Let's ask questions. Just sometimes like good to back off a bit and let him try.
Or forever. Even if you have to back off forever, there is still like no one ever you can't be separate from anybody. So like, oh, I back off and now you put up all these barriers to prove that you're backing off and that you're no longer together. It's like, no, chill out, drop your barriers, be an allowance of what works for them and what works for you, and go create your life. Yeah. And you don't have to do any separation.
Yeah, I so enjoy that. And what you was thinking like maybe 10 minutes ago now, but pushing down your barriers, like just going somewhere. Every morning I push down my barrier. Every time I go to the supermarket, I push down and now with the coronavirus, like they're shutting on all of things, I will push down them like really, really low. And like, I guess it's funny. A friend of mine in France, Annabelle, just told me maybe 2 months ago, like she was sending me a WhatsApp. I was working at 5 a.m. I received a WhatsApp, a voice message. She was like, about the relationship series and stuff. She was like, Romain, can you just acknowledge the fact maybe one of your superpower is like to create vulnerability, a space of vulnerability and intimacy, like people are with you like from 10 seconds or 30 seconds and they are starting talking shit they will never say to anyone else. And it was the case with her. And we had some conversation with that, but you are very like, no bias too. It's awesome. I remember when I met you, it was awesome. And it's like,
I know.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's like by pushing down your barriers and being the allowance and the vulnerability of create that space of intimacy with everyone around you, like no separation from anyone, because even if you push down your barriers, like there will be less resistance or no resistance. So people you don't like will not come and fuck with you because it's like, it's not even fun. There is no resistance. So why should I just annoy him? Like just move on. And that's crazy. And it can really shift your world and all about the gifting and receiving. And it's like, oh yeah, if I push down my barriers and pull the energy through anyone around me, what can it create for you and the world? I don't do that for me. I do it because I love it. I love when people are, something is happening in their world, they don't know why. And I'm like, yeah, I'm me. I'm a wizard, motherfucker. I love you so much. I just want you to experience that. And it's so fun. What if you try to have fun and joy using those tools, pushing down your barriers, pulling energy with no expectation, just for the fun of it?
And you'll affect people you don't even realize. So when you are at the my God, messages galore. When you are at the grocery store or just walking down the street or in a crowd or not even in a crowd, when you lower your barriers and you pull energy and you just relax and you just melt everything around you, people like you might not even get proof of the change that you're creating or the effect that you're creating, but you are, and they will just be like, it will plant a seed or it will create a change. You're the walking, talking catalyst of change, or not talking, the walking catalyst of change wherever you go when you're being that.
Let's write a book together, being the walking catalyst of change.
Okay.
I like that.
I love that. Deal.
Yeah, I need to write that down. Like, I'm not in the shower, but just like, can someone write that down in the chat? I will not forget that.
Where's our oracle?
Yeah, where is the oracle? Yeah, God, we should nah, bad Roman. I didn't plan, No, that's so fun. Like, and you see that joy and fun right there, and like, not being serious. And at the same time, I'm fucking serious about doing the choice to be happy and have fun on a daily basis. That's my commitment. I want to create the life I want. Maybe tomorrow it will be different. Like, it can change. I'll allow the change. But I'm like, what fun can I have today? What glorious and adventure I can live today. And it's so much fun. And sometimes people just came with me and have fun that day. And sometimes they don't. I don't care. I really don't care. It was maybe the most difficult part of my past was like, I need to save the world. I need to save people, and they don't choose it. Oh, it makes me sad and whatever. I don't do that anymore. Like, not at all. And it creates so much lightness and space for them to be. That's awesome. And sometimes, as I said, in a party, it will be someone else just coming to you because they catch the invitation and it's like, yeah, I want to go on that plane too. Like, yeah, sure. I will help you create your own plane or your own rocket to go there. Yeah, sure. And that's so much fun and light for me now.
That's so cool. It might be gone. But what were you just saying before something pinged? No, it just disappeared.
Gone. No, you have to say something. Jason there. We saw you, Jason, in the car.
Hi, Jason.
We don't know if you want to talk with us or just cut his camera. We saw you.
He's eating.
Oh.
What are you eating?
You, Jason. No, yeah. It's so fun. Like, and it's funny because of the coronavirus. Like,
oh, that's what I was going to say. Thank you. The coronavirus.
Go for it.
And speaking of like being, no matter who goes with you or not, and being alone, like this coronavirus thing has been such a gift in being by myself and creating and really getting to know what I would like in the future and like really nourishing the relationship I have with myself. And I love that I can say that I have to social distance because usually I'll just like go do whatever with anybody always. I'm like, or just work and like have clients and like always be working and never really have time to do all the things that I've been able to do in the past few days. And it has been so nice.
I love it.
And it's amazing. And even people are like, well, we're stuck here. And so maybe we should like, I know that you probably don't have the coronavirus, so we should like go on a date. And it's like, no, I don't.
I'm dating myself.
I'm dating myself right now. I am socially distancing. No, thank you. So like ask, like if you feel like you need to prove to yourself that you have relationships or that people like you or that you're doing the right thing in order to be in society or like know that you're winning, ask like, okay, would it actually create more to actually go on this date or hang out with this person or do these other things? Or would something else create more? Would it create more to work on your business today? Would it create more just to walk by yourself for 2 hours? Or would it create more to hang out with someone? And could you ask for people to show up that will create 20 to 80% greater in your life with them than without?
Yeah, and it could be a call. Like, you don't even have to tease them. Maybe you can talk with someone for 3 hours straight and have so much fun and contribution from that call. And maybe just enjoying yourself. I know I finished it's funny. Gary always make fun about Tony Robbins, and I love some stuff about Tony Robbins. And last year I took a courses like knowledge broker blueprint, and I never finished it. And I finished it yesterday night. Like I was like, it's like 60 hours of content and like some quiz and a lot of knowledge. I loved it. And I just finished it. I took the time, you know, for me, like, okay, it will, but I asked question like, will create my life, a greater life and stuff? And the answer was yes. So I said, I will do it someday. And it was stuck in my head for a long time. And now to be like, oh, you will not go to Sydney in 15 weeks. Like, just create now what you want to do. Like, take your time to learn something new. Like, and it was so fun to finish that. And I so much enjoyed it. And it's create business opportunity already to extract knowledge from anyone and I love that. And I have another call talking about that with someone we all know, but I will not share the name yet, like in 45 minutes about that. Like, yeah, let me help you to extract your knowledge and do mastermind or workshop or whatever. It's fun for me. And I learn from that. Yeah, and it's just about, I love learn stuff, but I love learn when I know I will do something with it. Not only on the business side, but just like, my time is precious. I love to learn. And I always ask, can I do something now or maybe in 10 years? But like, will that like create more for me? And if it's a yes, I can read about anything, like few books or whatever. And it's so fun. And you can say, oh, why is talking about that in a call about relationship? Because I'm nurturing my relationship with myself. And that's the first, it's the one counting the most for me. Like, I want to give tools to my kids to do whatever they want. Like, I love them so much. It's like, it was Kian's birthday yesterday. And it's just,
happy birthday.
Yeah, we'll tell him. It's just like, I give them tools. Like, they choose me as a parent. And I think I'm working it. But at the same time, I'm not like everyone else parents. And I love that. And I just want to be the invitation for them to see everything is possible and they can do everything they want. It's not on me. You know, like, it's like, yeah, I will give you some tools, but it's on you. What do you want to create? Like, do you prefer to play video games for a few hours or do you want to edit? I took my oldest kid and it could be good. Can you edit my video? Like, I do the relationship series and I like you to time some stuff and do editing because 1 hour conversation can be long. And I was like, yeah, cool. And
what? You got him to edit your video?
Boom. Yeah. And I will
pay like for that. An extrapolation genius right there.
No, but because he told me I can be not hard, but sometimes it's like, he was like, oh, I want to do YouTube and stuff like that. Yeah, so write your story. I want to make a movie. Write your story. I want to make a comics. Write your story. Like, start somewhere. People who are on the show now with millions view or whatever, they're working very hard for a lot of them to get there. So it starts somewhere. Yeah. Why I told you that? It's because it's all about choice. We tell like, choice of today, create your futures tomorrow. And when you choose something and ask to the universe, I would love for you to ask another question. What is the next step to go there? Like, okay, I'm choosing that. I'm choosing to create big places. I'm choosing to, whatever you ask, universe will give you. And at the same time, you can help the universe too. Like, okay, what's the next step to go there? Oh, I would love to have a castle in Italy or Spain. Okay, are you going to ask for a castle every morning? Choosing that? But what are you going to do? What action are you going to put in place to go there? Maybe you will never have that. Maybe it's not the whole point of your life. Just like, okay, you choose that. What's the next step? And maybe it's making a call to someone. Maybe it's asking, okay, who can I add or what can I add to my business or my life today that will create more?
Yeah.
You don't have to have answer. Just asking and like, okay, what can I put in place to help universe to give it to me like way more fast or easier, like so fun. So I would love to transmit that to my kids. Oh, we lost you.
No, I'm here. I got a call. I'm using my phone right now. Sorry. I love that too because it's like, yes, the universe will give you everything and you can ask. And then if we don't get that thing within 5 seconds or the next day, we're like, You judge yourself, you judge everyone else, you judge you for not having caring people around you or whatever the heck you're asking for. You start judging you and maybe even the universe, but that's not how it works. Once you put time in there, then you fuck everything up. So you have to get rid of time. You have to get rid of, what else can you add? Just like you said, what else can you add so that you're not just focused on this one thing that you don't have yet? Because once you take your focus off, the faster, or once you take your judgment off of how it's going to show up or when it's going to show up, the faster that thing can show up. And then it's just your job to receive it.
I love that. And like, if you can look, these access tools are awesome. You are awesome. And if you can acknowledge today that you are resourceful, like you are resourceful, even if you think you lack of resourcing money or whatever, friends, whatever, you, my friend, are resourceful. So if you acknowledge the fact that you are resourceful and you use and be the tools of access consciousness, boom, life can just skyrocket. Another date, try to call Alison all the time. Please do.
All these dates are calling all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Boys, hold on.
Yeah, told them you're on a call about relationship.
They feel something in the air. They feel this call is generating a lot of interest all of a sudden.
Oh, what's Jason saying? I'm driving and enjoying. It's an interesting time as human being about coronavirus, yes. And the earth will love that. Like, some people just see the sky for the first time in China and see, like, because there is less smoke and stuff. Humans are not getting it at all. Yeah, no. Ask yourself. I mean, maybe we can lose some friends or parents or whatever about that, but like, just ask, like any other disease or ill, like, what's right about this? I don't get right now. What's right about that situation? I don't get right now. And it's like, fuck, I think the world is changing for the best. We might not see it yet, but it's like, yeah, maybe
what's the gift in this?
What's the gift of all? Yeah, what did we ask, as you said, what did we ask to create that chaos?
Yeah.
And what can get out of there? Boom.
There's dolphins in Venice now. I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
Seriously?
Seriously, like the canals in Venice, because everything stopped and there's no traffic and there's no boats and no people. The waters are crystal clear and like they can see all the fish playing, and someone has taken videos of dolphins coming up through the canals and swimming in the canals of Venice.
I'm sorry. I don't do much Facebook or news. I never watch the news or whatever, but I will find that and
I'll be like your Facebook researcher because I love it.
I would love that. Like, no, it's crazy. And the earth, like, can you imagine with no plane or much less and less plane in the sky and whatever? It's like,
it's like a big break, a big reset for the planet.
Yeah. And
like, what contribution is this to the planet and our relationship with the planet, and how can we nourish our relationship with the planet from now going forward?
Yeah.
What's really required?
I love that.
Yay!
Yeah. I want to be able to travel again and meet you again, though.
Me too. We will.
Yeah. Maybe.
Don't worry.
Maybe a boat, like, and we sail.
A swimming horse. I know I have horses, but just like that old ocean thing is a little difficult. But what else is possible?
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Do you have something else for today?
No. I'm like fried already. I'm like, that was great. Like, what else is possible with relationships and or communion that you've never considered? Because relationship is just the distance between you and something else. Communion is actually an engagement and a play and an acoustic wave that is like forever creating possibilities.
I love it. Thank you so much, my friend. It was so cool. Thank you for everyone who was there online and everyone who will look at the replay. Like, it's awesome. And I wonder what can it create for the world, like us being aware of stuff and like just having fun too. Thank you so much. See you next
Thank
week.
you.
See you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.